Welcome back to Driving at Home. We're actually here at a truck stop, one of the more famous brands of truck stop locations in the country. We were here at a prior time when they were just building this location, putting this up. We were contemplating whether they were going to be adding some charging stations in this location. We were looking around, speculating on where those would be put in, because as we all know, we're supposedly going to an all electric fleet out there. But we came back and we don't see any of those charging stations. You can look back on our video here, I'll put it up in the card, but there's no charging stations here. And you would think that you'd start seeing some Tesla semis in here, you know, some other vehicles that are charging on the other side of this, where there's the vehicle only passenger vehicle side, where they're fueling up with fossil fuels, diesel and gasoline. But there are no electric charging stations here at this time. You would think that they would have installed them already, but in any case, it makes us wonder what's going on with our economy and with our power grid that we need to be thinking about in America, because the rest of the world has already started getting in on what's going to make their economy continue to hum along with zero carbon output. And the key there, as we know in prior videos we've covered this, is the development of nuclear power generation facilities to be able to provide the base load capacity that is going to be required for powering charging stations, whether it's at a location like this or at every individual's home where they're plugging into the grid in order to charge up their new battery-powered electric vehicles. We do have an article here we're going to dive into real quick about the fact that GE basically have just announced that their nuclear business, along with Hitachi, was selected by a future nuclear enabling fund in the UK. It says that the nuclear business for GE welcomed confirmation it has been awarded a £33.6 million grant from the fund from the Department for Energy Security and Net Zero. The UK government has ambitions for 24 gigawatts of nuclear power by 2050 to help in providing energy security for the UK and for meeting net zero. Now, this is just in the United Kingdom. Located here where we are in America, we need to be thinking more along the lines of what they're doing in the UK to be able to get our base load power capacity power generation up to the point where it needs to be for providing the sufficient capacity to power all of our electric vehicles in the future. Now, one of the things that we're running into is that people are wanting to go all electric by 2035, and we're not even to the point where that really makes any sense unless you start working on the power grid to create a zero carbon power grid. Not to belabor the point, but that is really the bottom line for whether it makes any sense to go to all electric vehicles on our streets and on our roads and in your garage. So you might want to think about that. Now, they go on to say here that there is a growing global interest in the technology that is provided by GE and the others that we've named here. In July, the province of Ontario announced it is working with Ontario Power Generation to begin planning and licensing for the deployment of 3 additional small modular reactors at the Darlington New Nuclear Project site, which would mean that the delivery of 4 SMRs at that site. SMRs, if you want to know what that is, you can look at our prior videos where we discuss small modular reactors. This follows the announcement in January 23 about a contract for the construction of the first of these reactors at the Darlington site. In March of 23, it was announced that GE, Hitachi, and the Tennessee Valley Authority, along with some others, are teaming up to invest in the development of the BWRX 300 standard design and detailed design for key components. In February of 23, Fermi Energia announced that it had selected the reactors for potential deployment in Estonia. So we're getting into the game here worldwide. The UK is in a position to benefit from this budding fleet of reactors and contribute with exports to an even larger global fleet. And that's the key, is the global fleet. If we're going to be serious about zero carbon and getting the all electric vehicle fleet on the road and to be able to handle that in our power grid, we are going to have to start now. Actually, we should have started before if we were even contemplating this kind of a economy, that we would need much more base load power than what we have currently with our coal, oil, fuel, natural gas powered stations, and of course the renewables, which is coming on board more and more, but just a minority of the power supply at this current time. But in order to supplant all of the coal and other carbon based power supplies for these power generation plants, we're going to have to go to something more potent that is carbon free. And of course, as we've been saying here over and over again, but now even highlighted more in this announcement here, is that the nuclear power generation is going to be the key